Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And it's your boy Taco Bell Wani, aka MMA Academics, aka Big Full Time. You know what the fuck's going on. And Fabricio Werdum just failed his USADA drug test. This was stemming from an out of competition sample that came from April 25th. So that was just about a month ago, which I believe was taken right after Fabricio Werdum's loss to Alexander Volkov. If you recall, Fabricio Werdum fought Alexander Volkov not too long ago. It was Fabricio Werdum's first loss since he lost his title to Stipe Miocic. And with that, he was booked to face Alexei Oleinik in the main event of UFC Moscow that was just announced for September 15th, so coming up. So now Fabricio Werdum's main event, or UFC Moscow's main event, is in jeopardy. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. This was breaking just from 10 minutes ago, reported on Twitter by Damon Martin. Fabricio Werdum, there's a statement on UFC.com. He's been notified of the potential doping violation by USADA. He's got, of course, he's innocent till proven guilty, but still, he's not going to be allowed to fight until he gets his name cleared up, which means his fight versus Alexei Oleinik is now in jeopardy. This was supposed to be the main event of UFC Moscow, so now what? This is just a fight night. We're not going to get Khabib to fight on a fight night card, and you know what I'm saying? He's not going to get pay-per-view shares. It's not going to be neat. There's no way Khabib's fighting. There was talks about Khabib Nurmagomedov fighting at UFC 227, possibly versus Yair Rodriguez, but we saw how that situation played out. I don't think Khabib even has a replacement opponent yet, but he's targeted to fight at UFC 227. So now, who's going to be in your main event? Who's worthy enough to be in Moscow's main event to replace former UFC heavyweight champion Fabricio Werdum? Now, a lot of people would love to see Khabib probably versus anybody, but we'll see if the UFC wants to reschedule Khabib for UFC Moscow now, or if they'll just have a replacement opponent for Fabricio Werdum. And I gotta say, man, this fucking sucks. I told you guys in the live stream, literally right before this video, that this fight to me, Fabricio Werdum versus Alexei Oleinik, reminds me of Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou, because Derek Lewis versus Francis Ngannou is the pinnacle of heavyweight slugfest. This fight, Alexei Oleinik versus Fabricio Werdum, would have been the pinnacle of heavyweight grappling. Alexei Oleinik has 56 professional wins, 44 by submission. 11 of those are Ezekiel chokes. Fabricio Werdum, he's got 11 submission wins and is widely known as one of the greatest heavyweight jiu-jitsu players of all time. So with that being said, we were going to get to see how Alexei Oleinik's Ezekiel choke stacked up to Fabricio Werdum's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If this fight got to the mat, that doesn't mean the fight was guaranteed to go to the mat, because this is an MMA fight. One of these guys could have landed a fucking bomb before we even got to see the Jiu-Jitsu and put someone away. We saw that. But if it did get to the Jiu-Jitsu, this is one of the most intriguing Jiu-Jitsu matchups I would have been interested in the MMA, because for one, there's always the threat of don't blink. This is a heavyweight fight, you know, so there's always the threat of a knockout in a heavyweight fight. So if this fight stays standing, we'll see how that plays out. But if it goes to the mat, we got fucking two of the best heavyweight grapplers to ever be in the UFC, the pinnacle of heavyweight grappling in the UFC today. And now it looks like that fight's in jeopardy because Fabricio Werdum failed an out of competition drug test. Now, I'll bring this up because it was interesting, and if you recall, Fabricio Werdum, he's kind of spoken out against USADA in the past slightly. He just said he felt like they were too strict. He said, you know, not everybody wants to take steroids to cheat. Some people just want to recover quicker. These guys, both of these guys, Fabricio Werdum and Alexei Oleinik, are 40 years old, if not 41, right? So some of these mixed martial artists that are professional fighters that have been fighting their whole life, you know, yeah, they've been through some wars and they might not recover as quick. It might take a little more time to recover. So if there wasn't as strict of drug testing policies, they might be able to take something just to help them recover. But as strict as USADA is, you can't take anything. Hell, you can barely take a damn aspirin as far as USADA is concerned. So Fabricio Werdum one time, not too long ago actually, pointed out that he said he thinks that the testing is too much, talking about USADA, too strict. He said it doesn't have to be that much. It's one thing to take something to recover faster. I'm not saying steroids, no. What I'm saying is that USADA is just too much sometimes. It's too much. It doesn't need to be that much. The testing is stricter than the Olympics. And so that was a previous statement by Fabricio Werdum. And so I'm just curious, you know, maybe, and think about this. Junior Dos Santos, another Brazilian heavyweight, he was recently cleared by USADA. His name was cleared after he was pulled from his fight with Francis Ngannou. His name got cleared. Turns to find out it was actually like a Brazilian supplement company that they ended up having their shit wrong. They got busted, and so like 3 or 4 different USADA fighters that were busted by USADA were all cleared. That could be the case here with Fabricio Werdum. What happens if Fabricio Werdum comes out to be innocent and now he just lost his main event fight in UFC Moscow? That's what happened when Junior Dos Santos comes to find out he's innocent, and he lost a huge opportunity to fight Francis Ngannou because of USADA. We don't know if Fabricio Werdum is guilty here, but we do know he's going to lose an opportunity unless he can get this cleared up before UFC Moscow. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments about Fabricio Werdum failing this USADA drug test stemming from an out-of-competition sample taken April 25th, so about a month ago. This doesn't mean he was on steroids for his last fight. He was not on steroids versus Alexander Volkov. This says out of competition, and it was on April 25th, which I believe is actually after his Alexander Volkov fight. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. I'm out. And as always, thanks for checking out this video. If you want to join the notification gang, make sure you hit subscribe and also hit the bell next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. And if you want to help this channel reach its full potential, consider hitting the PayPal link in the description or going to patreon.com/fulltimemma and becoming a patron. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking DOWG.